What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another wonderful episode of the Kyle Hartman Project. Episode 13 is going to be a hot one. I have a guest that I've been so excited to introduce to you guys. I've already mentioned him a couple times. His name is Jibreel Salaam. And I want to announce before we get to any introductions, before we do anything at all, for all of you guys that know me, I want you guys to know Jibreel is from the East Coast, but he is actually one of Hartman Media's first official team members. So we're really excited to have him on the show. We're really excited to introduce what he does, what he's about. So Jibreel, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, man. We are about to embark on a seriously cool relationship, I think. So I'm very excited to have you on. Why don't you just start off by giving everybody a brief introduction on yourself? Give them your background, give them everything, give them the demographics, where you're from, what you're doing now, and what you plan on doing here in the future.
Yeah, for sure, no doubt. First off, just appreciate you with the kind intro and even just having me on the podcast, man. It's been a long time coming. I'm glad we were finally able to get this hashed out.
Yes.
But yeah, Jibreel Salaam, I'm 25, I'm from Chesapeake, Virginia, and I'm a African-American Muslim male. And I tell people that first and foremost because, that's what I want people to know right off the back, right?
Yeah, definitely.
By trade, I'm an entrepreneur. So at the age of 6, I started my first lemonade stand, and from there on out, I did stuff like shining shoes. I cut hair in college, sold candy from middle school all the way into college.
No way.
I swear, man.
We gotta talk about
hustling.
that.
All right. So when I got in middle school, there was a Family Dollar that was behind our middle school, and the candy was always super cheap. Yeah. So I would just go there and buy a bag of Smarties, because for some reason kids used to to crush the Smarties and pretend they smoking cigarettes and stuff. And I wasn't into that, but I recognized I can make some money off of this. So I went there and I would buy 2-3 bags a week and then sell it all, pay for my lunch money, and then go home with a little money in my pocket. So I did that all through middle school. High school, did the same thing, but different candies and stuff. And once I got I'm sorry.
Go ahead. If you're still on your candy story, keep going. But I have to add to your candy story. So whenever you're done with that story, let me know.
So once I got out of high school, man, I went to college and I started working an actual job, like a part-time.
Yeah.
But I was still selling candy here and there. But college was so rough that I ended up just eating all of my product because I was so broke. so that didn't really last too long, and that was the end of my candy ventures.
Okay. So it's so funny that you mentioned that, because right when I got to middle school, the same exact time frame, I went to. We have Kroger back home. It's, just the big supermarket.
Yeah, we got Kroger.
Okay, I know it's pretty popular, but I don't think it's out here out west. I think they have something different, Vons or something. But so we go to Kroger, and I'm with my mom at the time, and I see these name brand candy bars for 3 for $1. So Reese's, Twix, Snickers, the top shelf candy for 3 for $1. So I had about $96 to my name, in 6th grade. And I had told her, I said, I want to keep $5 just in case I need to eat or something at school, but let me get $91 worth of this candy. And so she looked at me no, that I'm not buying my 6th grade son $91 worth of candy bars. When I simply explained that I'm going to then take them to school and sell them for $1 a piece on the bus, this and that. And I used to ride the school bus for an hour and a half one way. So I would just sit on the bus with a shoebox, and I legitimately would be sold out of my shoebox full of candy bars before I even got to school.
Yep.
And so then I started just packing 2 boxes and just riding on the bus with them.
Dude, it's the hustle, man. It's the you recognize the demand and you re-up, man.
I can't explain. Re-up. That was the most money I made in probably half of a school year.
Word.
Probably out of my whole life that I was in 12 grades of school. Yeah, that was a really lucrative opportunity. I even started getting heat from the school because I was competing so much with the vending machines there.
Mm-hmm.
So it was,
they don't like that stuff, man.
No.
They try to be like, oh, you're selling paraphernalia. Get out of here. You know,
Right,
I'm not selling drugs. I'm selling candy out here.
Yeah. So, okay, so you've been an entrepreneur at heart, and I've kind of noticed that. I just wanted to let our followers and let the listeners kind of get that about you. So, you are in Virginia?
So currently, right this second, I'm at my coffee shop in Elizabeth City, North Carolina, which is 45 to an hour away from where I live.
Okay.
But yeah, I still live in Virginia. I just commute back and forth to the shop.
You own and operate that coffee shop?
Say again?
You own and operate the coffee shop? Is it a family business? Okay, cool.
So the way it went down was after I graduated college, I started working like a really crappy job at Aflac, and I told this to everybody: do not work insurance. Like, it is the worst possible job you can get, and they snaked me into that job. So it was just even worse, and I had a worse taste in my mouth once I realized I got snaked into it.
Okay.
But I ended up getting out of it. I was unemployed for a minute. Like, one thing that I tell people college did a disservice for me was it kind of took my entrepreneurial roots away from it, because it trained me to just get a job. But once I realized like I really hated working those sort of jobs, I was just like, yeah, man, I was kind of just like, well, fuck, what now? Like, I can't do this. So I was unemployed for a minute, and I was able to make money because I had my truck, and the business that I had been in from 13 until 23 was the pallet game. And so my dad brought me into the pallet game at 13, around the same time I started selling candy, to sit in the yard, a big concrete yard filled with pallets like 50 high, and just hammering pallets, fixing them, separating. And then when I got into college, I actually started my own pallet business where I bought and sold and recycled pallets myself. So that was a business I had going. I set that aside to work a regular job. And once I went unemployed, it was like, okay, I don't want to do pallets anymore, but I also can't do this 9-to-5 stuff. And so it was like a battle of pride during that time out of college. And so going into the winter of 2014, my dad was like, listen, I'm selling collard greens and cabbages and sweet potatoes, and it's making a huge profit. Like, actually right now, that's what he's doing while I'm at the shop.
Wow.
And I got into it, and immediately, like, first week, I'm making like $400, $500 just selling vegetables. I'm like, yo, what the heck? So, like, it got to the point we had a system where he would stay down there. I would be riding back to North Carolina to the farm, go load up, and I'm talking like at midnight. We're loading up the truck filled with collard greens, boxes and boxes of cabbages, sweet potatoes.
Did you guys grow those? He grew all that?
No. Yeah, so okay. we got friendly with a lot of farmers down here since we have the shop.
Got you.
And a majority of my mom's family is from this area of North Carolina. So
you just provided the logistics for the farmers then.
Yeah. So the farmers win because they sell a lot of produce, and then the people that buy from us win because we're able to sell them fresh. Like, when we go there, they're cutting the stuff out of the ground. Nice. So we're getting the stuff like super late at night. They're cutting everything, and then we're racing back to Virginia to sell it. And I mean, we're out there early from like 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, and we're not done selling until, that was so nice. We would be out there till 1 in the morning, right? Yeah. And I mean, it's freezing cold. Like, it's cold here right now.
Oh yeah.
And so 2014, the winter of 2014, I did that, and eventually I ended up working at a nonprofit for a little bit. Again, same thing. I hated it, and after I left there the summer of 15, after really like 3 months, and I ended up opening up a small sports entertainment business with my best friend called Mojo. We did that throughout the summer. We did soccer tournaments. We did like soccer viewing parties and stuff like that. And eventually I got contacted by an indoor soccer facility for me to go and work there to help them promote and bring people into the building. So I built that place up. But then the winter of 2015, that's when my dad called me. He was like, listen, I'm opening up this coffee shop. I'm not going to be able to run it because I have to run my pallet business still. And he asked me to come in. And at the time, we had 2 employees that really weren't doing anything. They were literally just sitting here and waiting for people to come in. Okay. And it it was like we just had a shop, but nothing going. So I came in, was like, listen, we need to get these items in here, made a menu from the bottom, from the bottom up, and I ended up firing both the employees, and but you know what I'm saying, like it was like we had to cut losses, and then we also had to build some sort of foundation, like, before there really wasn't a menu. It was like, hey, we just serve drip pour coffee, and that was cool for people to be going in and out, but for people that want to sit down, they want to enjoy the coffee, or they wanted to learn more about where the coffee came from, there wasn't really that atmosphere. So I created that.
That's awesome.
Just through reading books, man, and understanding the coffee business, like hella lot of YouTube videos. And yeah, man, so now we have a very extensive menu. We have different dishes and items like that, and I've been running it ever since, so for 2 years.
Do you have an Instagram page for the coffee shop by chance?
Yeah, of course. It's Salaam's, SALAAMS International Cafe.
We'll be sure to share that on this. I just always ask because I see a lot of coffee shops and a lot of smaller bakeries and things really using Instagram to their advantage the more that I do my research for different companies. So that's just one thing I wanted to make sure you guys, and I know you, so I know you probably already have everything to the core of what you need to be great. So but yeah, I will definitely be sharing all of those pages and everything on this episode. That's a really interesting story. I love that you pointed out times where you had normal 9-to-5 jobs and times where you were using your mind and being creative to generate revenue. And I love that you put both on display because it very clearly shows where your heart lies. You are an entrepreneur. I relate to you completely when I hear you speak on how you felt about certain things and how, like you said, you flipped that coffee shop around from just being standard. The customer will come in and buy coffee, and that's how we'll serve them, basically. So really excited for you. I'm excited for your future, and I'm excited for the value that you're going to bring, not only me, but everybody that I'm involved with as well. So that's really exciting stuff. Let's change course completely now. So we're about, I'd say, 13 minutes into this podcast. So we're about halfway, and I think what we should do now, Jibreel, is focus the last half on the future and what we're doing for the future and things like that. So I want to just go ahead and let this out there for the world. Jibreel is aspiring to be a YouTube social icon. He is a vlogger. He has some amazing skills with a camera, video editing, the whole nine. So I want to go ahead and let you start talking about that before we close out of this, because I think that is huge what you have going for you now.
No, I appreciate it. So basically I got into content creation, specifically on YouTube, almost a year ago. November 6th was when I posted my very first video, and I always enjoyed watching videos, and I always thought in the back of my head, like, I have so many ideas. And one day I literally just was like, I have a little bit of money, let me buy a camera on OfferUp. I got a $400 camera for $40.
Right.
I was so hyped. Like, dude, I feel like the guy that I bought it from didn't even know. Right. and I looked on Amazon. I was like, this is a come up. And I get in the car and I drive off. And so I just started recording my life. I just started recording different things that was going on. And we went to Las Vegas last winter, and I recorded everything. Getting stormed and having to sleep in the car during the hurricane. I have all this stuff on record, and I've made videos for it. And so what I started falling in love with was the art of storytelling. And storytelling, not only my own life, but how can I tell a perspective of other people so that they can relate to the content that I want to put out.
Exactly.
And so where I am now, going into 2018, I'm looking to daily vlog, but not just daily vlog on my life, but to also incorporate all the people that I'm connecting with, such as yourself, this new brand, a couple of brands that I'm working with, and trying to showcase the people that are out there hustling, the people that are producing dope music, that are producing creative brands, and the people that are really just trying to get theirs. And I want to make that a central part of my life, as well as my Muslim religion and my Black heritage. Those are big things in my life that I want to put out there, because there's so many people that I feel don't feel comfortable being who they are.
There's fear. There's so much fear. Sorry, go ahead. But all I was saying to that is what you were trying to say, I think, is it's fear. I think a lot of people, we live in a society that creates a lot of fear now. So that was my opinion of it. I don't know if that was what you were getting ready to say. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I mean, you're exactly right, though. Like, it's like up to this point, everybody's had fear of expressing who they are. Like, I tell people straight, I'm like, yo, I'm one of the biggest Lord of the Rings nerds you will ever meet. So Amazon getting ready to showcase a Lord of the Rings series has me bugging out right now. And it's funny because, like, if I would have said that 3-4 years ago to a bunch of my college friends, they would have laughed at me and been like, yo, you're a fucking nerd, like, you're a loser. But guess what? Today, authenticity wins.
Right.
And you being yourself wins. And that's why all these rappers are pretty much, you know, the rappers that talk about, do you remember Trinidad James?
Yes.
All right. You remember why he got ousted the way he did?
No.
All right. It's because he tried to talk a life that he didn't live, and people called him out. And that his shelf life was so little.
Right.
Because he was there and he was just gone. He came out one song and it was gone. And it was because he tried to fake the funk. And that's what a lot of people have been able to do. But now that the internet and social media, especially stuff like Twitter.
I don't think it's just rappers. I think that goes for businesses as well. I'm seeing a lot of brands go under so fast because they are, like you said, they are being exposed more based on the internet, how the internet is operating. So I love that you touched on that. Definitely.
Yeah. I mean, don't get it twisted, man. Look at all the stuff that's happening with, you know, these sexual harassment allegations and stuff.
Yes.
The Harvey Weinsteins, like, dude, they're getting ousted because the age of authenticity is now. So for anybody listening, I want you to remember this whole talk. I don't care about the selling candy in schools. I don't care about entrepreneurship. What I want anybody listening to us right now to realize is that today is the best time for you to be exactly who you are, and you want the world to know who you want to be and where you want to go.
Right.
And you said the second part we wanted to be predicate on the future, and I think that's the future. From here on out, that is it. It's all about you and being comfortable with what you like and engaging with other people that like just that.
Can I add to that real quick? Because I want to point out too, every single encounter that I've had since I've started on this path, you know, I started this podcast for the exact same reason that you did your vlogs. If you go back to my manifesto, my first episode, that's all I talk about. I talk about wanting to showcase the individuals that I network with along my journey. So one thing I can say to that too is every single meeting that I've been in since I've come out with Hartman Media. So every business meeting I've attended since, so that's been about 1.5 years ago that I really launched the idea. All of the values at the table, and I'm talking, I've been around tables of some very, very different demographics. That is almost the sole idea, I guess you can call it, that gets brought up between everybody that's around the table at those meetings, is that we need everybody out there in the world to know that positivity is on the rise, and that we're forming our army. We have a team, and all you got to do is start, like Jibreel was saying, just be authentic, be yourself, and be happy in your own skin. And I promise you'll find us, or we will find you very shortly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We attract to one another, and that's the reason why we're on this podcast now, man. Like we through the most serendipitous coincidence ever.
Yes.
Right. We ended up being in the Twitter fam together and talking and connecting, and like here we are now. You know what I'm saying? And it's with all the extra stuff that's going on, it's led the positivity to be able to shine onto your podcast, and for whoever's listening to this to be lucky enough to hear this fire that you got going.
Yeah. And that's another thing too, that I think one thing to point out too is I've been able to focus a lot of my energy away from mainstream media and negativity and races, all this stuff that we got in the world today. I've been able to literally shift my momentum, and I spend quality time now dealing with people like you and everybody else that I know and have met, and anybody else that's trying to do something, versus focusing on all that negative. So once you guys stay true to yourself, you will find your place if you don't feel like you have one. And that's where your life is really going to start to change, I think.
Definitely. definitely.
What do you think, Jibreel? We're not all the way to the end of the episode yet, but I always try to cap an episode off. Somebody reached out to me in the very beginning and said, maybe you should end every episode with a quote. So I was wondering if you live by a certain quote, or if you know any quotes that, you want to share for our followers.
Oh, most definitely. I have 3, actually.
Good. I'm glad I asked early then.
So the first one that I have is my personal mantra, which is strive to thrive, endure, and survive. When you watch my vlogs, I end off every vlog with that. And I ended with that because at a time where I was unemployed, I didn't know what was going to happen. I thought I was just a loser at that moment.
Right.
Strive to thrive meant for me that every day you need to wake up and you have to strive. You have to try to get a little bit better than you were the day before.
I agree.
Striving, right?
Yes.
And the second part, endure and survive, was indicative of the situation I was in at that moment, which was, you're going to go through those hard times. It's going to fucking suck. It is going to be so bad. But you have to endure it. You have to endure the punches. You have to endure the dirt that you're going to eat.
Right.
And you're going to come out survivor on the other side.
I like that a lot.
And the reason why I throw that out there is because I think too many people are very too, like, just try your hardest and go out there and be a star. And it's like, yo, listen, like, we have to be real with one another about entrepreneurship, about chasing your dreams. It is not easy, and a lot of times it is not fun.
Right.
Right? Because you're really going to be eating it, and you have to every day just have this mentality of, yo, like, it is not cool right now. It is not looking pretty for me, but I'm going to stick it through.
If anybody follows my snaps, and I'm sure your followers too, they would know, because that's where the day to day is, I think, what you're getting at, right? Where it's not all guns and glory saying you're an entrepreneur.
Exactly, man. Yeah. Like today was a rough day for us at the shop. And like, I'm proud to say that, you know what I'm saying? Like, people are like, oh, how'd it go? I'm like, yo, we are open. We're open right now.
That's awesome.
Like that's why I have to say, like, we're open. And when we have great days, I'm like, yo, like, we're doing well.
Yes. That is awesome. I agree completely. I love just being surrounded with individuals that have that mentality all day long. What is your third one?
All right, so that was one. The second one is, and I'm going to be really quick with these. The second one is something I learned from my economics teacher in college, Mr. G. Shout out to him.
Okay.
I learned one thing in all 3 of his classes, and that was this quote by Dwight D. Eisenhower. A plan is useless, yet planning is indispensable. All right? And what that quote means is that you can have the greatest plan in the world, but it doesn't mean anything, because as Mike Tyson said, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the nose, right? It goes out the window. But the art of planning, the act of planning out, is more important than the plan itself, because you have to be flexible. You have to be able to maneuver, right? But you have to at least have something on the drawing board. So, for example, you and I
was just going to say that, yes.
Right? Yes, us, right?
Yep.
Like, we were supposed to be recording a while ago, but things just got messed up. But we always had it planned out.
Right.
That we were going to talk, that we were going to meet, that we were going to, execute on this right here.
And I think what's important about that, too, is the fact that not once did I feel like the situation would fall out from under us, because, like you said, we had set a date, we had planned it, we knew we were going to do it. But now when we had hiccups along the way, and I'll admit it was mostly on me bailing on Jibreel to record, because I was super busy with everything. My car's clutch went out. I'm still trying to find a place to live in California. So just chaos. But one thing that I'm glad you said that, because I never once, not one single second, doubted that this was actually going to happen or not. I knew for 150% that it was going to happen. So I love that quote. I'm going to invest more time into that quote, I think, because that one is huge.
Yo, write that one down.
I got it. It's up top already, yeah.
Write that down. And so the last quote is one that over the last month and a half, 2 months even, I've really been hitting on this, and it's called Pimp Your Situation.
I like that.
Basically what it means is that, everybody's situation is different. All right? And only you can take the situation you're in and pimp it to your advantage. Like, you need to be able to take advantage of your situation, because there's no need to look at somebody else's situation or the next person or the next person's and say, oh man, I wish I had that, because you don't have it. So you need to try and take advantage of where you are right now and flip it so that it's yours. Like, you own your situation.
I feel like you'll get so much more control out of your life once you realize that, once you get to that point where you literally are truly appreciating yourself to the core, and you absolutely have no fears or doubts or any hatred towards anything else, because you fully just encompassed yourself. And I like that that kind of wraps back around too to what you were saying earlier, I think, a little bit too. And so, man, so we went from no quotes to 3 amazing quotes that I'm actually tripping over now. So that is amazing. I appreciate that. We have, Jibreel, we got I'd say about 4 minutes left. One thing I do want to mention, I didn't give this enough attention, I don't think. For anybody still listening, Jibreel, you guys need to check him out. I'm telling you guys, I've had Hartman Media in my head for about 1.5 years, 2 years now, and Jibreel is the first stranger that I reached out to be a part of my team, and he's actually going to be one of the guys once we get going to Chicago for Reach 1, Teach 2, and JJ Private Consulting, all those companies out there. I'm actually setting a budget. Jibreel doesn't know this yet, so it's cool to tell him this, but I'm actually including in the budget to be out there with my team. So Jibreel and I will be going to Chicago to collect this footage and to really get these stories out of Southside Chicago for what we are going to consider to be our own mainstream media, because Hartman Media plans to change what y'all are seeing on the real TVs because it's just not the right thing. So, man, I cannot wait to be in Chicago with you, Jibreel, recording, meeting so many wonderful people from all walks of life, meeting a lot of boys from, inner city high schools in Chicago and talking to them just like we did here to, among ourselves, and really just starting this process of, we got a wave of positivity already started in our nation. And now I think, the creators, the content creators, the doers, we're all starting to finally form ideas on how to actually make change happen versus just being voiced. So we're making progress. I can feel it. I wake up every morning feeling so much better than I used to. And so I want to leave you the floor, Jibreel, if there's any last things you want to say. I know I want to tell your followers that check out my podcast, I want to make sure they know from the bottom of my heart, everybody, like, I thank you guys to the core for giving me 20 minutes of your ear. I know it means that you're ready for a change if you're listening to us talk right now. So I'm excited for everybody.
100. Kyle, I mean, again, I just want to thank you, man. This has been a long time coming, and the fact that we're right here in this moment right now, we're chatting it up, we're giving out positivity, and we're setting things ablaze. You know what I'm saying? With our energy, it's just so exciting for me. And I can't even explain how excited I am to be working with you to go to Chicago, man. It's just unreal, man. I'm just so excited and just extremely blessed to be in that situation. For the audience, thank you guys for listening. And again, the main takeaway I want you guys to take is that you're you. That's it. Like, you're you. You're not me. You're not Kyle. You're not anybody else. You're you. You got to figure out what your situation is and figure out your strengths to pimp your own situation. Every day, wake up, just gracious that you're able to breathe. You're able to get up in the morning, and you can still go out there and hustle for the things that you want.
All right.
So
I agree to that completely. I think you nailed it there. I want people to really start feeling, perfect with who they are, like you said. So that's wonderful. Guys, this has been a phenomenal episode of the Kyle Hartman Project. I know it's episode 13, but this is actually going to bring you guys a bunch of luck versus some unluck. So I hope you guys check Jibreel out. Make sure to follow him on YouTube because he is going to be vlogging daily. Like, it's going to be some seriously good stuff for you guys to check out. And we are only about 30 seconds left, so I'm going to cap it there. But this has been another episode of the Kyle Hartman Project. Hope you all enjoy your weekend and have a phenomenal day. Come back, check us out, check everybody out on the show, and we will see you next week.